This video out of Michigan is wild. It all went down on Friday where UAW workers were on strike outside of Stellantis plant. This guy in the yellow shirt is said to have stopped his car right here among the striking workers. According to an official with the UAW, the guy had been yelling racial slurs and throwing stuff at the people on strike. You can see the workers going after the guy, who takes a picket sign only to get into a larger brawl with a group of striking workers on the sidewalk. The brawl continues into a parking lot where the guy falls down. He gets back up and blocked from the others, and after a few moments he's escorted back to his car. That's when the guy's wife gets out of the driver's seat in a Batman shirt and throws trash at the striking workers, to which they respond by hitting her with strike signs. The couple eventually gets back into the car and drives off, and left before police arrived. Nobody was arrested, and a UAW worker who was on the scene said that the union isn't looking for a fight. The guy just jumped out of his car and attacked them. Thousands of auto workers are striking at unionized car factories across 20 states, seeking a 36% pay raise, a 4-day work week, and additional benefits, which they say car companies can afford thanks to record profits and sky-high CEO compensation. President Biden is set to join the picket line in Detroit on Tuesday to stand with the union.
Now this is crazy right here, just for the simple fact, you know what I'm saying? These people out here trying to get their money, they know that they're worth what they want. So this is why they out there striking. And then y'all have to get out there and be racist and mess with these people for no reason. Which is crazy because they're not the only people that's out there. See, in the United States, we all come together. And that's why you see black people, white people, Mexicans, Asians, all type of races. Because not only black people go on strike, but since so many different people make these vehicles as a team, you know what I'm saying, they feel they need to be paid more. So these dummies need to educate themselves on why these, you know, folks are out there.
It was seconds after he got out of that car that gunshots rang out, and minutes later, a witness came across Jared lying in the middle of the road. He had been shot dead. It was on Wednesday, February 16th, 2022, that Jared Bridegan was driving home. It was shortly before 8 a.m. and he had just dropped off his 9-year-old twins from his previous marriage off at the house of his now ex-wife. And it was as he was driving along this road on a dark February night, he'd just spoken to his current wife, Kirsten, on the phone, that his headlights illuminated something on the middle of the road. Something which...
Well, before we get too deep into this, what do y'all think happened? Do y'all think the ex-wife had something to do with it, but then again, he just dropped the kids off? Or do y'all think... I don't know, because this is weird, because he just dropped the kids off to his ex, his current wife. I can see if it said girlfriend, it may be a crazy boyfriend, but shit, now I'm kind of curious on what kind of beef he had.
Something which, as he slowed the car down, getting closer and closer, he realized sitting there was a damaged tire. He slowed the car down, presumed it had just fallen off a truck or something, and so with his sleeping 2-year-old in the back seat, he put the parking brake on, put the hazards on, and got out of the car to try and drag it off the road. It was seconds after he got out of that car that gunshots rang out, and minutes later, a witness came across Jared lying in the middle of the road. He had been shot dead. It was...
So you mean to tell me this guy get out to do something good and he fucking get killed with his 2-year-old in the car? With his 2-year-old in the car, and it's just weird to see that, okay, he got a wife, ex-wife, kids there, you know, like I said earlier.
It was clear he was already gone. Jared Bridegan was 33 years old, born in Missouri, but moved to Florida when he was still very young. In 2010, he married Shanna Gardner, and together they had twins, a boy and a girl. Shanna was always someone big into exercise, and so as a nice gesture, Jared bought for her a set of personal training sessions with a CrossFit instructor. Well, she allegedly began having an affair with the CrossFit instructor, something Jared learned of when he stumbled across some emails between the two that you don't really want to see. Shanna filed for divorce in 2015, and there were some nasty, I'm talking real nasty allegations coming from both sides. They still lived in the marital home at the time, and this went off the rails real quick. 2017, still living in Florida, Jared met and married Kirsten, and they would have a daughter together in 2020. followed by another the following year. In 2018, Shanna married Mario Fernandez Saldana, who was a maintenance man at the CrossFit gym she attended. Police arrived quickly at the scene and found Jared, but he was already gone. His daughter had been quickly rescued from the car and was with EMTs, while Kirsten was racing to the police station. At the scene though, well, it didn't look exactly like what they first thought. This had been an ambush, that much was clear. Somebody had placed a tire there waiting for a car to come up when they could, get them. But, first off you're thinking, carjacking gone wrong. Somebody was just waiting there for the right, moment. But the car hadn't been stolen and there was no evidence of a struggle. In fact, it seemed like Jared had been shot multiple times in the back, and he had his ring, his watch, his wallet, all his items on. Gathering nearby CCTV, the police were able to discover that the tire had just been placed there. It was a quiet area and no other cars were seen swerving to avoid it on cameras. The police quickly came to the conclusion that this had been an ambush, but an ambush specifically for Jared Bridegan. The only thing they had to go on at this point was a 2004 to 2008 Ford F-150, which had been seen...
That's crazy. So this kid, because he looked like a kid, but he old as hell, decided to fucking... I don't even know what to think of this, because this is another senseless murder, which all murders in my eyes are senseless, but at the same time, you have to think to yourself, what in the hell did you do to this guy and he did to you? It was more to it. I know people got issues, but none of it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of it makes sense.
Which had been seen leaving the area around the time of the shooting. The investigation would show that the tire left on the road had been belonging to a 2004 Ford F-150 Lariat. The police landed on the name Henry Tenen. Henry was picked up by the police in August 2022, 6 months after the murder of Jared, arrested on an unrelated felony driving charge. He had a history and a shotgun was found in the trunk of his vehicle during a traffic stop. It was during a background check the detectives noticed something quite interesting. He was renting a house from Mario Fernandez Saldana, the husband of Shanna. A tenuous one at best, but a link between Henry and Jared. They found 3 handwritten checks had been made out from Mario to Henry, which, Henry was renting from Mario. Why would he be paying him? It was also found out that in February, which was the month of the ambush, Henry and Mario had called each other 35 times, the next month 30 times, and then after that, almost 0. In January 2023, 61-year-old Henry Tenen was charged with conspiracy to commit murder, second-degree murder with a weapon, accessory after the fact to a capital felony, and felony child abuse. Then, 2 months later in March, he decided, you know what lads, I'm not going down for this. Not today. He pleaded guilty to all of the charges, and he told the story. It had, allegedly, all been over the divorce and the subsequent custody issues between Jared and Shanna, but equally as much as all that, hatred. Pure, unadulterated hatred they had for Jared. Likely what happened, Henry was renting a house from Mario. One day, maybe in around September, October, Mario said to Henry, "You want a job?" Henry said yes, and he got some prepayments in advance. Then Henry was told the route Jared always took, found a darkly lit place along that route, and then after Jared dropped the twins off at the house, somebody texted Henry saying he's on the way, and Henry dragged out the tire. Henry Tenen, by agreeing to plead guilty to second-degree murder and agreed to testify against both Mario and Shanna, will be sentenced to a minimum of 15 years to life. Mario and Shanna have both pleaded not guilty, denying any wrongdoing whatsoever, but both, I think, have an uphill battle against them, seeing how as soon as it happened, the finger pointing and the whispering began against the pair of them. It appears that most, if not all, of this alleged conspiracy was done via Mario. Any links to Shanna are probably, we don't know, but they could be circumstantial. A likely plan for them is to pin it all on Mario Fernandez Saldana, a Mario who won't be able to afford a very good defense. And it all depends on how much Henry Tenen knew. He has already agreed to testify, and if he was having direct conversations with Mario about the murder, likely was, and that's Mario effed in the B, and he knows it. Maybe what he then do will turn on Shanna, lay it all at her feet. If Mario is facing the death penalty and Henry is going to testify him, it wouldn't surprise me if Mario agreed to plead guilty too. Thank you so much for watching. It really means the world to me that you're taking the time to watch this whole video. Please take care of each other and yourselves, because I love you.